Today, we're exploring something pretty unique. We're looking at a text that proposes a highly unconventional approach to handling life's daily stresses, and it does this entirely through marital connection. It actually combines meditative practices, specifically what the author calls mind control, with the ultimate goal of rapidly accelerating the depth of a romantic partnership. It's a fascinating concept, so let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. To really understand the stakes of what the author is discussing here, consider this incredible observation from the text. Mrs. Symington, while addressing a mind control group in our source material, noted that a good marriage is actually one of the greatest reasons for a cancer patient to stay alive. I mean, think about that for a second. That is a profound statement. It completely reframes marriage. It's not just some pleasant social contract. It's presented as a literal lifeline. When you're dealing with the ultimate stress and serious illness, the sheer strength of that intimate bond becomes an absolutely critical survival tool.
So that brings us to the big question of today's explainer. Can a shared meditative practice, this mind control, actually unlock a deeper, almost psychic level of intimacy? The author lays out a very specific playbook for achieving a durable connection that, honestly, normally takes a lifetime to build. We're going to break down exactly how they claim this works, step by step.
Section 1. Marriage and Stress. Moving beyond the expected.
Before we jump into the actual meditative techniques themselves, we first have to look at how the author defines the very foundation of a successful marriage. Now, you might expect an immediate pivot to physical connection here, but the source explicitly states that physical intimacy is actually the result of a good marriage, not the starting point. True intimacy, according to the text, is the sort that comes from deep understanding and total acceptance, not an invasion of privacy. It's about fundamentally knowing and accepting your partner exactly as they are. It's definitely not about feeling entitled to dig into every single one of their secrets. That baseline of real psychological safety, that is absolutely required before anything else can happen.
Moving on to Section 2, the mind control connection. Achieving a durable psychic bond.
And this brilliantly illustrates a really cool contrast. The text draws on the author's own experiences with these mind control training classes, where they noticed this fascinating byproduct. Graduating students were feeling an intense, loving connection with each other, even if they had started the class as complete strangers. People often bond over shared intense experiences, right? Like soldiers in a war, or, as the text playfully notes, strangers trapped in an elevator for an afternoon. But the author argues that kind of instant intimacy is actually pretty superficial. It's brief, it usually leaves us feeling a bit awkward or uncomfortable afterward, and it fades quickly. By contrast, the connection you achieve through deep, prolonged meditation is a durable, psychic-level intimacy. Minds are gently touched in a way that is usually completely reserved for couples who have spent decades together. It's meant to be long-lasting.
Which brings us to Section 3, the shared meditation exercise, a step-by-step guide.
So how do we intentionally create this durable bond at home? Well, the text gives us a fascinating 9-step shared meditation exercise. But hold on, first there is a very strict ground rule you absolutely have to follow before you even sit down. Rule number 1, select a shared happy place, but do not select a place where only one of you has been. The author emphasizes that choosing a place only one partner knows will totally skew the symmetry of the whole experience and drastically reduce that feeling of sharing. It has to be a mutually experienced mental space. Or, it could even be a completely imaginary landscape that the two of you create together from scratch.
Okay, let's look at the mechanics and see how this builds. Here are the first 4 steps. Once you've got your mutual happy place, you sit comfortably, physically close, facing each other with your eyes closed. Then, the counting begins. Partner A speaks out loud, slowly counting down from 10 to 1. This guides them into a deep, pleasant meditative level and serves as an invitation for their partner to join them there. Partner B then mirrors this exactly, slowly counting down from 10 to 1 themselves, which actively brings them closer together at that shared deep level. It's basically a synchronized verbal descent into total relaxation.
Once you are both at that level, we enter the visualization phase. Partner A initiates going very, very deep into that shared place, asking to notice all the little details. Step 6 is crucial here. Both partners slowly and spontaneously describe the sensory details of the scene out loud. What color is the sky? What's the temperature? What do you hear? Then, we hit the emotional core in steps 7 and 8. Partner A states out loud that their ultimate desire in life is to make the other happy. And then, partner B mirrors this exact statement right back. Finally, step 9 is a period of silent communion. The author actually notes that really experienced meditators might even do this whole thing with their eyes wide open, gazing at each other. But ultimately, that deep, silent shared presence is the main goal here.
Now, I do need to share a very specific, strict warning from the source material. Caution. The beauty of this experience is completely lost if misused or if partners do not fully agree with the purpose. Both partners must genuinely desire a deeper, richer, and more durable commitment for this to work safely. The text argues that if someone doesn't truly understand the goal, the resulting sense of intimate communion might actually come across as a highly disagreeable experience. So, mutual buy-in is absolutely crucial.
Section 4. The power of auras, the physical manifestation of connection. Now, what's really interesting here is that the source material doesn't just stop at mental exercises. It actually extends these concepts out into the physical realm by discussing energy fields, known as auras. According to the text, when people are physically close to each other, their energy fields literally overlap, and this causes distinct physical changes. The shape, the intensity, the color, and the vibrations of the auras all alter. The text claims this happens anywhere people are packed together, even on a crowded city bus. But in a marriage, frequent contact makes these changes durable and highly complementary.
Which leads directly to a surprisingly practical, everyday lifestyle recommendation from the author to help maintain this energetic overlap over time. Quote, "Physical closeness is essential. I recommend double beds." Prolonged physical separation, according to the source, actually reverses this complementary aura process, which they argue is distinctly bad for the overall compatibility of the marriage. So the author's solution is honestly quite simple. Just sleep physically close to one another. Who knew unlocking deep marital harmony was quite literally just a mattress upgrade away?
Finally, Section 5. A meditative approach to sex, flowing beyond the mechanics.
This brings us to the final piece of the marital puzzle, according to the text, how this deep mental connection translates to physical intimacy itself. The source draws a really sharp contrast here. Standard, step-by-step, how-to mechanical sex manuals deliberately force you to think through techniques. But the author says this keeps the whole experience entirely superficial. It locks participants in a conscious, waking state, what they call the beta level. It might provide kicks, sure, but not lasting joy. In contrast, the meditative flow applies all that relaxation and mental depth you learned in the shared exercises. Couples can just flow with the experience, keeping the mind relaxed at a deeper meditative level, which results in a much more profound, lasting connection.
So what does this all mean? The crucial takeaway presented throughout this source is that becoming psychically sensitive is a highly effective tool for enriching a partnership. The author leaves us with a truly compelling thought to ponder. Even without training, long and happy marriages naturally result in a deep psychic understanding between partners. So, why wait? It's a provocative question, isn't it? It challenges us to consider the timeline of our own connections. If a deeper, almost psychic intimacy is the natural end goal of a life spent together, why not actively practice building it today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this gave you some fascinating new perspectives to consider.